Okay, I'm live. Let's do this. Let's see if anybody joins. This should be entertaining. So we've got one joiner. Fantastic. Brilliant. Hello. Hey Hannah, how are you? A second one. Good. Just getting a good start. So I've noticed I've not really uploaded a bit, and I want to talk to like a lot of the people that watch me, and a lot of Who fans. I suppose there's a reason why I'm doing this live stream today. I do apologise. I'm going to try and move this and get some because it's a bit bad at the moment. We're all doing a live stream, and I suppose you and Adam inspired me to do one because I feel like I need to, because I'm not doing enough of one. Adam, I'm not Adam. Oh no, not do it all. No, but No, but hi guys, how are you? So I suppose I want to make this live stream to talk about a lot of things we love about Doctor Who. Now, obviously, there's a lot of, in a sense, with Series 11, there's a lot of not negativity, but there's a lot of bad things going on with the show. Obviously, we can critique a show, but I want to talk about things we love about the show. Any sort of media, comics, anything, things we love about the show Doctor Who. I'm going to talk about some new things I had to put collection because I've had a lot. Recently I've started a new job. Hello, fourth person watching. Recently I've started a new job. I've been able to get a bit more new merch. I've been able to watch a ton more Who, read a few more things, listen to a lot more things. Hiya, Rob, how are you? So let's talk about things we love about the show. So, I suppose some new things to a collection, which you'll be surprised. I've had a lot of Big Finish, which is a bit. I blame Rob. I blame Rob for him going on about it. No, but so I'm going to start with books. So I picked up. This is really good. Logopolis, Blue Spine. So this is the Blue Spine Virgin reprint. I love the front cover personally. Yeah, just blame Rob. Blame Rob for everything. Rob, you're the reason. So I love that cover. I love season 18 Tom Baker, and I really wanted this book. And it was originally the Master and Ferris Project background cover, but this is a better cover, I think. I picked up Secrets of Ever, a 13th Doctor book. Now, I want a bit more 13th Doctor in my life because I don't hate as much as other people, but at the end of the day, I don't really love a lot of other people. So she's mistreated in the collection. She needs more. So, going on Big Finish. Now, this is really where it gets interesting. I bet I've got a lot more merch. I'm thinking about everything I've ordered. So I've picked up, because I've always wanted to check this out, all of the first season of Bernice Summerfield. So you've got Oh No It Isn't, which is really funny. Beyond the Sun. You've got Walking on Babylon. Straight after that, you've got Birthright. Just War. And then you've got Dragon's Wrath. So her first season. Now, I really like her character, what I've heard so far. I genuinely think she's a good character. She's got a lot of snarky lines in that sense. And she's more adult. Which I do like about her character. She's much more adult in that sense. Because obviously she originated in the Virgin New Adventures. And she travelled with the 7th Doctor. Which was very good. Because you know what? The 7th Doctor is one of the best ones to go with. Who she really is. So I'm looking forward to more of them stories because they're more separate. And Oh No It Isn't. It's a really interesting story, so I recommend it. I picked up the Everlance Blade. It's part of the BBC. You know what I'm going to do? I feel like I like to. That's better. So, Everlance Blade. It's part of the BBC novel area. It's interesting because I got it for 10% off. I do. It's really bad right now. Wait. I'm going to do this. That's better. That's a lot better. Wait. Perfect. Of course it is. That's better. Guys, there's a reason why I don't film in the dark. Yeah, but I don't film in the dark because of this reason. When I've got a natural source of light, I can do things. So yeah, picked up this, very nice. A tiny bit more Big Finish because I'm a bit of an obsessed nerd. So there was the £6 deal, be Big Finish 100 and 150. So I managed to pick up The Girl Who Never Was, which sounds very interesting. Can't wait to hear this. Eighth Doctor, I do love the Eighth Doctor. And then The Cradle of a Snake, a sequel to Snake Dance and Kinder. Well, officially it's more sequel to Snake Dance, but I don't know. However you want to do it. Heard bad things about it, but I still know it's actually not a bad story, so it should be good. And second to not last precisely, I managed to find an out of print audio. Obviously, I managed to get Blood Tide, which is out of print number 22. Great story. Silurian Sixth Doctor, Evelyn's Mind, fantastic. I do love this story. It's one of the best Silurian stories we've had for audio. Hannah, cool your beans, we'll get to it. And then we've got The Outlanders, which is personally fantastic. Really enjoyed it. I'm on part 4 right now. It's such a second Doctor feel to it. I do think it's such a good feel. Hello, third person. So yeah, really look forward to this. And plus, we've got an impersonator to play Ben Jackson. Obviously, Michael Craig's played Ben Jackson in the series itself. But here's the thing, it's just great having this one back again. So, then we have, now Hannah, since Hannah, hasn't really gone on about it much. The Rain Clansman. I will finish it, Hannah. I listen to a lot more things than you do right now. The Rain Clansman, I got this, Hannah. It's Charlie Pollard and the Sixth Doctor. Sounds really interesting. I've not heard this Dalek any time, only in The Last Adventure. So, a full proper story with these two will be good. And if anyone knows me, I love Colin Baker. I mean, Hannah loves Colin Baker more. She's obsessed with Colin Baker. There's a certain image she loves about Colin Baker and Fraser Hines, but we shouldn't say it on this chat. It's a bit too adult for a lot of people. Oh god. Hey guys, how you doing? So, moving on very quickly. I also picked up one thing that came today. Wait there. So, I found this for really, really, really cheap. Sarah Jane Adventures, brand new, unopened, with the General Kurlak from Series 1. I really liked the series, picked it up, it was a great offer. I got a Sarah Jane figure, an old one which I really, really wanted, obviously. It's Sarah Jane, how can you up Sarah Jane? And obviously, it's just a unique figure with some nice accessories, and Twin Character Options did really different things with their figures. They didn't just reprint or, the same figures, just with different variants. They did different things, so I really like this set, and it's a great set to have, I suppose, because I'm starting to watch Sarah Jane Adventures, and again, it's still a really, really good show. I do think it's generally great. So yeah, really, that's a lot of the Big Finish I've picked up. I've got a book coming. Hey Paul, how you doing? I've got a book coming, which I'm really looking forward to. It's the Snake Dance hardback, which I'm really looking forward to there. I found it for like £15. So I'm like, I need this. It's fantastic, great condition. And it just fits perfectly with collection. And since Cradle of a Snake came, I was in a Marvel mood. You know the hard problems when you want to talk about Kinder or Snake Dance, but nobody else can speak about it because it's such a deep questionable story. That's the problem. It's such a good story, but it's also so weird. So yes, guys, that's some new items I got in the collection. I'm always getting new things. I suppose I'm great. Coming to my Doctor Who DVD collection of the week. That's fantastic, Paul. Oh, that's brilliant news. Have you got the reconstructions on DVD or CD or stuff like that? I suppose some events I'm going to as well. Birmingham Comic Con, July the 3rd or 4th, I may be wrong. If you're going to Birmingham Comic Con, I'll be there. I'll be going as the Sixth Doctor, so please say hello if you see me. It will be great. Also, the Who shop. I know, it's crazy. How are you doing, Jack? So, the Who shop on the 23rd of March has a signing of a Mac Terror with Fraser Hines, somebody that actually played one of the singers and dancers, and the animator of the Mac Terror. I will be there with Harry Williams Productions. I hope to see you there, and if you see me, say hello to me, because I've never really met people that watch me as much, and I really want to meet people that watch the channel just to show my appreciation, and it would be generally great, and just to meet Doctor Who fans in general. I'm really looking forward to it because I've never met Fraser. He's my favourite actor in Doctor Who. 10 years. Oh my god. It took me a few just because I literally bought the last 50 I needed. In one going. I used to work as a scare actor. You know, at horror events you go to, where people jump at you with that makeup on, you scare people. I used to be a clown, a zombie, and I used to do a lot of that anyway. I got paid £10 an hour, and I used to do that an entire month in October. It was amazing. I loved that job. Just my work right now stops doing that because it's around the time I should be doing it in the evenings, and it's very hard. But basically, I got paid at least £500-600 for doing that, and I literally bought every single Tom Baker because that was the last Doctor I needed to complete the collection, and I just got it all in 2 weeks as we all came through. So yeah, that's how I completed my collection. It was fantastic, and plus, if scream act, scare acting is pretty awesome. It really is. So I suppose, like, also, if you're going to London to a Who shop signing, please go, because honestly, I'd love to meet a lot of more Who fans. It'd be fantastic. It would be great. Obviously, Birmingham Comic Con. I've not been to a Comic Con, especially a big one, in a few years. I've been meaning to go to London, but I'm not doing that this year. Fraser's so nice. I got to sign 6 of my DVDs when I met him. He's talked. Oh, great. Honestly, I love Fraser Hines. He's amazing. I came across Tim Simon in a supermarket in 2009. That £5 per tomb is a great offer. Was it the original edition or for the special edition? But yeah, great offer. Very good story, by the way. Personally, I think there's better Cyberman stories, which is a very controversial opinion, but we'll see. Hello, people joining right now. How are you doing? Are you doing well? So, all things like too. So, I've had a lot of cool video ideas. Now, I need to discuss to you an idea for the channel. I'm going to be changing the channel around a bit. Like Harry Williams, doing Doctor Who, I love talking about Doctor Who. It's amazing because people really you can have a nice discussion. When people aren't, what's this? I bought a special edition a few years ago too. Oh, great. When you can talk about Doctor Who with Doctor Who fans, it's great. But when you have other loves you like to talk about. So, I'm going to be changing the channel around a bit. I don't know how, but I'm going to be talking about other things as well as Doctor Who, or geeky things, or just other things in general, changing all things Doctor Who. Now, I'm still going to talk about Doctor Who a lot. There's a lot of things I want to talk about with the show, a lot of things. Series 6, for example, I can say a lot about Series 6 and 11. I don't know where Series 6 came from. There's a few big finished stores I do generally want to talk about. There's some unboxings, there's my Target books when I finished all my Target book collections. There's a lot I want to talk about. There's books I want to get into. I want to get my Virgin New Adventures, the BBC books. There's generally so much Who you can see. I've also started reading my comics, so there's a lot of media for Who I want to talk about. But also other things I kind of want to talk about as well, which is interesting. That gives me a motivation. That doesn't give me a block to make videos, if you get where I'm coming from. Obviously, as creators, you want to make content you're happy with. Now, people may love what you make anyway, but you're going to be happy with what you make, and hope, obviously, you enjoy it in the future, whatever you do. Because obviously, me, ISO99, Adam Talmud Fishwick, obviously my love for Doctor Who, and a few sidecast members are talking about doing an audio series. We've got some scripts prepared. We just need the software to make it at the moment, and it's going to be great. It is going to be really, really good. I Saw 99 has done a few of the scripts, which is good. It's going to be awesome, that is that you could dedicate spin-offs or audios or books, for example. That's a great idea, because I want to get into more spin-offs of the show. I can talk about every Classic Hero episode. It's a fun that I love doing it. I can talk about all the new series, how it connects, and all the little references we get, all the appearances. But there's also things that people don't talk about as much, like how do you know the spin-off Cybermen or the Dalek Empire series and Big Finish? They are fantastic, I think. They really do them characters justice in a great way and do interesting things for characters. So there's a lot of things to talk about. You know, it's a Sarah Jane spin-off. Did you hear, Doctor Who? I heard it's moved to Saturday. Doctor Who is in a very weird place at the moment. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? So, I suppose there's lots of spin-offs that you can talk about. There's also comic book adventures as well. Obviously, Meep, it is Beep for Meep. Now, there's an adaptation Big Finish team, the Fourth Doctor. Now, I read his comics online. I started a script for your audio series as well. No, but basically, there's all his comics online, the Fourth Doctor, 80s comics, and they're doing an adaptation on Big Finish with the Fourth Doctor with Tom Baker, which I'm so excited for and honestly hyped for it. So I started to read through, and it's so interesting. The comics are they're such a unique piece of Who media because they can fit into canon at the same time they can't. It's like some Big Finish stories. You listen to them, it's like a master. Death is a character, and in Doctor Who, the TV series, Death is more of an idea. Is K9 Oh my, K9 and Company. Look, I like K9 and Company more than the next guy, but oh my god, it's just so funny. The theme tune is so 80s. It's just it's just funny as anything. But I suppose I started this to Jago and Lightfoot. Now, I Saw 9 will love me for that. So, oh my god, Jago and Lightfoot, their chemistry is fantastic. Their chemistry is generally fantastic. Jago and Lightfoot's chemistry is, they get on so well. I love it. Have you listened to Jubilee? I have listened to Jubilee. It is a very good story. It's very political in really weird ways. Obviously, when you listen to it, it's got like the characters of a lady. You've got all these other things going on. You've got how it advertises. I don't. It's just hard to explain it. But I suppose the best way for Jubilee is to listen to it. Watching Dalek isn't enough. You really, obviously, that's inspired by it, but you've got to listen to Jubilee to really understand Jubilee. It's a classic for a reason, and it really damn makes you love Colin Baker even more. Obviously, yeah, Class is now a Big Finish. My problem with Class is I was never invested with the characters. The way it was written was there was a one person writing it, so it was always the same writing. Obviously, it was the same writing all the time, so it was always the same thing. You had some decent episodes, but I just didn't like the characters enough. I suppose I've still got to finish the last episode, but I just think its target demographic didn't know where it wants to go. You were watching it, you had characters who were getting cured of bloody, then you had characters going through a dance. It was like the Sarah Jane Adventures if you had Luke trying to figure out puberty or girls, and then suddenly his friend's head gets chopped off right in front of him. Where's the demographic you're going for? We just don't know. Big Finish done a good job. Brought Ace, it's like remembrance of a Dalek style story. I brought it back to Coho School, which is really good. But apart from that, Class is very bottom of my spin-off list, personally. I've got others I prefer. But, as I was saying, Jago Nightfall, it's great, and I can't wait to get into it properly. If you've not heard it, I'm not an expert on it. I've not heard a lot of it, so I can't say what to recommend, but listen to it. Mahogany Murders is on Spotify. Listen to Series 1. Series 1 to 5 is on Spotify, but listen to Mahogany Murders first, just because it sets up the main villain for the last few episodes of Series 1. It's good. It's good stuff. So it's definitely recommended. As I was saying, I got a question earlier. What Doctor Who story would I like to be animated or fan? It's simple, Fury for the Deep. I simply love that story. I just think it's one of them fantastic stories. It's generally one of my favourite. Patrick Troughton is just brilliant in it. You know, Victoria, Deborah Watling, Fraser Hines, and Patrick Troughton have this amazing relationship. It's like Unit era, but even better. This amazing relationship, and it's just so sad to see her go because even though it's a reconstruction, you can still feel the pain and the emotion through Jamie saying goodbye to Victoria. It's generally sad to see, and just hearing it, and you can tell the heartbreak and said, Mr. Tuno, Jamie." It's just heartbreaking and it's sad, and it generally the villain in general is a great villain. It's such a 60s seaweed villain, but it's good. I love Fury from the Deep. It needs to be animated or needs to be found. The Macatera, I'm glad it's being animated just because we can now have some visuals, and obviously if it was found, the Macatera is always one of them stories. It's better that it's missing. That sounds weird, but the crabs in the little things we have. Once again, checking out for Strax is great to get into it. It's not beginning. I do need to listen to the Strax story. I enjoy Class. It wasn't great, but 13 wasn't bad. I completely agree. Class wasn't as bad. It really wasn't. But personally, Macateb is weird just because the crabs look so 60s when you watch them little clips that have survived and few-second clips, especially from episode 2 when Polly looks at the crab and she's shocked and horror in the face and you see the lights go. It's just so entertaining and it's so 60s and it wouldn't bother me, but to some people it'd be like, this is really bad. And I don't agree with it because it's 60s here, but you know what? I'm happy we get an animated because the Mac can have justice. Oh wait, Macra do not exist. Do you think they animate all of the missing episodes? I think they're going to release for Blu-ray sets with animated missing episodes as exclusive things. So we're not going to get separate releases anymore like we did with Reign of Terror, 10th Planet Invasion, that sort of thing. It's annoying if you don't have Blu-ray, but still. I kind of want the second series, but that's... Yeah, I know the Weeping Angels made appearance. That's been spoiled for me. I suppose I find later on in the Moffat era, the Weeping Angels are more of a gimmick to a lot of things, so I wasn't as excited as other people, but I will get to it. I'll get around to it, as Hannibal to say. There's no such thing as Macra. Macra do not exist. So yeah, guys, we've got so much great material. Obviously, going into comics for a minute, you know, the comics are such a great way. There's a great video I watched on Titan Comics. We have all these separate adventures. Now, I've got a lot of Titan Comics single issues because I used to collect them. I've got all the Third Doctor Titan Comics on a single issue. The artwork is beautiful, but it's simply like a love letter to a purple era, and it's a sequel to The Enemy of the World. So that's another thing I love because I personally love The Enemy of the World. It's just a great little story. Well, not little story. It's just a great story. And I'm so happy it's found. I'd love to go to a location and run into that beach. It would be a dream to do that. I think I know where it is. The recon, the shops believe Mac exist. Oh, to be honest, I'm still checked off Macra. It's so annoying because all these dates are getting pushed back for these releases. Season 18, obviously Tom Baker's final season, 81. We're not getting that. We're waiting a lot longer for that now. The Mactail has been pushed back, so when I meet Fraser to get this signed and everything, and the animator and the person does the tune, we're not really getting the DVD, so we can't go back and enjoy it when we get back. So I suppose that's why I'm a bit annoyed. But at the end of the day, if it's going to make it better, it's going to make it better. Yes, I have seen Josh Nair's videos. They are damn brilliant, honestly. The amount of effort he goes into there. He goes into his missing episodes. He goes into... Obviously, I've realised Singapore have a lot of unknown sources for missing episodes. So what I'm interested in is why don't somebody in my local area of Singapore go to these stations and find out if there's any there? Because this could be really good for us. Thank you, also Nine. It's gonna be brilliant. I feel like if we go to all these places that are unknown with missing episodes, we could maybe find something. Maybe we could find Marco Polo. Who knows? I'm hoping we find Marco Polo one day because it's just one of them great historical stories that people still consider fantastic, even though it's missing. Obviously, it was around before we could really record anything, but luckily we had the audio. I can't remember the person who did the audio, well, the best audio we had. It's a shame because that person that has recorded all the missing episodes and even the found ones from the 60s era, he's passed away a few months ago back. And it's a shame because you want to thank these people for doing all this fantastic work for the show so we can still experience all the bits of missing media. If you look into some other 60s shows like Dad's Army, they don't even have audio, they have scripts, so they're being remade. Hi Farmer Amy, how are you? Literally, they're being remade, but we have the audio, so we can listen to what it could be, so we can have the animated episodes. So we, in a way, we're not as bad as other people or as other shows. The Avengers, the other show on near the time, they had a lot of episodes missing. A few have been found, just like Doctor Who. But apart from that, we're lucky to have, fans from the 60s loving the show, recording it, wanting to hear it, obviously, because that was originally meant to be broadcasted once. Paul from the Restoration Team thinks episode 1 still exists. I hope it still exists. We could have the rest of the 5 episodes animated if they still exist. Because Marco Polo, even as reconstruction, is a story-based thing. It's the changing of the doctors. I know you are Hannah's sister, yeah. I've seen your name pop up on the videos actually. Obviously, it's such a story-based episode when you watch it because you've got the character of the Doctor. He is about to lose his TARDIS or his caravan, as it's called by Marco Polo, but you can still understand Marco Polo's reasoning. Obviously, that's what I love about it. You can understand his reasoning, and it's so interesting because it's a historical villain. You've got just really the colorized stills, which make it even better. You can see the beautiful sets, and that's a weird thing about the story. The episode is known for its gorgeous sets, but we can't really watch it. We can see it, if that makes sense. But what I really do recommend, watch the colorized sets or reconstruction to Marco Polo. It's gorgeous. It's a damn gorgeous episode. If you have time for a 7-parter, watch it. Hi, the Classics Race. How are you? Watch the actual all 7 parts of the Marco Polo serial, just because it's just a brilliant episode. I think personally, and it's worth watching the last few minutes of the Age of Destruction, just because it's some of the last scenes you're going to see of Marco Polo, or that's rather at a moment. But yeah, Marco Polo, completely brilliant. I hope it's still around. I know it's Amy, or were you applying to Rob? So yes, guys. So I suppose I'm excited for Marco Polo. I'd like some animated episodes because we can really fill in the gaps in our collection, and I hope the Daleks Master Plan is released at some point. But anyway, let's move on to Daleks Master Plan. If you've not heard, or what you've probably heard is because the BBC put it on their official page, we are actually getting a vinyl release. It's got 7 vinyls for the Daleks Master Plan. And it's got all the stories, so you've got obviously all 12 stories, including Mission to Be Unknown, which is brilliant. So recently we've had a lot of great missing episode news, and seriously artwork for that set is gorgeous. The only downfall is it's £99. Unless you got money, you can't really afford it. Now, personally, I got a lot of things I want to buy, but I'm not. This Friday, God's sake, I could buy it if I wanted, but I'm not gonna. Personally, I don't think it benefits £99. If it was £50, maybe I'd consider it. But £100 for a story on vinyl, I can't do it. I can't justify spending £100. Around Apollo 12 is an interesting idea for rocket hit. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Also, and some more Dalek Master Plan news, Mission to be Unknown, the only story without the Doctor in, and his companions, obviously Stephen and Vicky at the time. Obviously, the last story was Galaxy 4, and at the end of that story, it led into Mission to be Unknown, where the Varga plan affected one of the people and it said, kill. We'll get to that remade actually, not animated, made. But the actual evidence it being released on DVD, we don't know or not. Nicholas Briggs and Peter Purves, and also one of the people of the original cast, was there. It's beautiful watching the animation, the actual live action come to life and watching it be made. It's been filmed by uni students. I don't know which uni it is, but I honestly love it to bits. I think this is such brilliant news, and it shows the Who community coming together, and it just looks so realistic. And it's just a love letter to be shown. It's fantastic, and it's even filmed in black and white, how it was. So yeah, excited. Hope it gets DVD release, just because I want to put it in my collection and watch it. Obviously, if you've seen the Ian Levine animation for the Mission to be Unknown, you know that the animation's good and it does give the story justice. You should travel, Rob. You should travel and try and be a part of it. No, but it gives the story justice just because it's animated and it's the only thing we've got at the moment. I know I got the custom DVD for the Dark's Master Plan, and in that set I had the reconstruction to Mission to be Unknown as well as the animation. So I have officially got it in my collection, weirdly enough. But I really want a live action version, just a bit more authentic when we watch it. Because I like watching the animated episodes, but I also like a bit of realness when I watch the real episodes, I suppose, if you get where I'm coming from. Or, a really cool idea I think would be great personally, get David Bradley to recreate the missing episodes with Big Finish. I think this would generally be a good idea. Personally, sorry, getting a drink here. Just because the original soundtracks weren't made to be heard as a random audio, it's more to be watched. So watching it, so listening to it, with the Big Finish quality, how they make it, it would make a lot of sense. I personally think I would really love that idea. So obviously, fingers crossed if Dave Bradley and all the cast would come together to do that. Maybe we can get some other people coming back to recreate it. Maybe Peter Purves, William Russell would return for Marco Polo, and work with David Bradley. So it's like a little mixed cross-generation thing. I don't know. There's a lot you can do, but it would be fantastic if you had it. Our new Lost Stories series with me. Yeah, that'd be good. Thing is, I want some more Lost Stories, but the missing episodes. I suppose I'll release the soundtracks Dave Bradley and McCarter. That would be cool, releasing with Dave Bradley doing Lincoln narration to the stories. That would be a good idea. But I do think listening to it with a bit of the original actors would be interesting. Because obviously in my first Doctor Adventures with David Bradley and his team, Caroline Ford has returned. Obviously I've got the first two sets, I've not got the third one yet, but I'm interested in hearing how they do justice to Caroline Ford. Does she play Susan? Is this in another universe, or is this canon in a sense? Who knows? So, apart from that, there's a lot of good things Big Finish could do, but if I'm being really honest with you, I've come into a bit of a dilemma with Big Finish. Now, this is a very weird thing to say because Big Finish is doing a fantastic job right now. What the show can't do. That's some good ones you said there, Rob. The Great White Hurricane is a great one. What the show isn't doing at the moment with the disappointment of Saves 11, it has some great stories, but I suppose my problem with Big Finish at this moment in time is they are trying to get too much to canon of the show. Instead of starting out and giving time to stories so they can make some great stories instead of rushing them out all the time, they're just going into canon of episodes. I've heard River Songs going to an Earthly Child, City Death, or something like that. And then I start thinking, do we really need this? I want some new stories with all the Doctors. I want these interesting stories not to contradict other episodes. I know there's an audio that literally explains why the 7th Doctor got shot down in the TV movie. And then I start thinking, Why do we need that as an explanation? Granted, it wasn't the best send-off for the 7th Doctor, but personally, I don't want to explain the Big Finish audio because it just contradicts a lot of what you watch. For some circumstances, it doesn't bother me. If you've listened to the 5th Doctor, Peri and Erin, also Nonchalant points out to me, and it's quite a good point. They're a fantastic team. She's an Egyptian goddess, if you've not heard her, and she travels with Peri as it really expands time with 5th Doctor and Peri, and they were something I wanted more of when I first watched Planet of Fire. I'll get to your questions soon, Classic or Ace. Give me 2 minutes. But there's something I wanted more of after watching that, and in the Caves of Androzani, it was great seeing them together because of the 5th Doctor Fantasy character. Peri really had that good relationship, and it wasn't as rocky when it started up the 6th Doctor. So here's the thing, listen, it's great, but there's a really bit that contradicts a lot of the stories in the middle of From Planet of Fire to Caves of Androzani in them sets for the main range, and that is the 5th Doctor says, I'm about to give my life to someone I just barely met, or barely know, something along those lines. And it's a bit like, you can't help it, but I suppose, I don't know. It's just me being a bit nitpicky. To answer your question, if you have some DVD discs, download the recons onto your computer and rip them on there. You can even make some custom artwork, download a custom case, and put them on, and you've got your reconstructions on DVD. It's really good. So yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been great talking here. So I suppose if you get any questions about the channel, then just say now, because I'm very interested in hearing. So yes, guys, it's been a while since I made a few things on the channel. I've been trying to get a few more hours at work at the moment, just because I had a month off work. I wasn't earning anything. I had a lot to pay off, and it's a lot better now, so I'm happier. Obviously, in this time, I've met Hannah from Isle of Doctor Who. I've met Adam Tyler Fishburne again recently. I'm meeting Harry Williams Productions, obviously, on the 23rd of March. When we go down to London together to meet Fraser Hines, which I'm so excited at the Who Shop. Spending the day getting some great merchandise from the Forbidden Planet or something, seeing the Weatherfield locations. It's going to be a great day, guys. So if you're down there, say hello, because I want to meet people that watch my videos, because I never really have. I've also been meaning to go to a few more conventions, such as The Warp in Manchester. I know a few people asking about me, apparently, which is very weird. I just can't imagine that. I just don't imagine people caring about, oh, is all things out and got Doctor Who going to be here. It's just weird, personally. I find it a bit weird. I don't know. I'm just not used to it. So yes, guys. Before we go, there's also some sad news recently. Andrew Cartner has recently put on his Twitter that the writer of the Hapless Patrol has passed away. Whatever you think about that story, I personally think it's a great political style story of Margaret Thatcher, and it really does work in the way the story is done, and I like it. Until the 25th and season 18, that is really disappointing. I've pre-ordered the season 18 box at the Zoom, and it's just annoying because it's always being delayed. It's like they're very ambitious with the dates, and that's what I don't like. It's just annoying. If we're going to have a date, give us a date. If it's animation, then I'll give it that, just because you need time animating. But anyway, I'll get into that before another video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I'm absolutely fantastic doing this live stream. It's great talking to you all, and I hope you are doing well. I'm going to be thinking about how I can change the channel, but I'm still doing Doctor Who videos. I'm still doing spin-offs. I'm still doing Big Finish, maybe a few comics, but also maybe something different for Who related. Maybe movies. I don't know. I'm happy with more content. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great time, and I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good time.